It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're going to look at J.J. McCarthy. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Vikings and the Browns. All that and more coming up next.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Now a 2nd and 2. They'll run off tackle with Jones. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Vikings are 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
2nd and a couple. Moore, the man in motion. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On play action, now McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. You look at this Browns defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns will take over possession here up at the 44. Remember, Charles, this is the number 1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're number 1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. That's Woods. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
2nd and 4. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And the Browns are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Again, he'll drop to throw. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd down and 6 now. On play action, McCarthy. That's to the sideline and incomplete. You look at this Browns defense. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Looks like a 2nd empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because every exit door, that was surrounded. I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
Third down and 13. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 5. An inside give to Jones. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, again to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. McCarthy off the play fake. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
That was a chance for the breakthrough. He's got a man running free, and you've got to be able to put that on him. But instead, led him too far, incomplete.
They'll run for it with Mason. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. And it all starts up front in the trenches.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Here's 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Here's McCarthy. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 6. The give is to Jones. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now McCarthy. And that one to the right side and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Hands it off out of the gun. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, That'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
To the air with McCarthy. He's got the connection to Moore. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. This 2nd and 4. Throwing is McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing again, McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. They'll look to throw. That'll be caught left side by Woods. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back to throw again. This is the tight end, Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw again. Right back to Njoku. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Right side complete. That's Woods. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Here is third down and 4. On play action, McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Complete. Jefferson the target.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
From the 22 now, here's second down and 7. Looking to throw McCarthy.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Browns to take over. They're on the good side of this game right now with a lead, but they were on the bad side last week in that loss to Cincinnati, so now trying to make amends.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
That one out wide and intercepted.
Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that makes it 14-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
3rd and 4.
He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Now back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And now out comes Minnesota.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, here's Mason.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Being chased out left. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty.
Now McCarthy. Addison hauls it in. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
And he's got it down to the 28.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll run again with Mason. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 23. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. 3rd down, here's Mason.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break the initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out, learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll hand it to Mason.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
Looking middle, and that's complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Vikings offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. To the air with McCarthy. Able to find Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Able to find Judy. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Got his man, it's Woods. And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage, they stop the clock, and they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
What a pickup there, and maybe most importantly, he's able to get out of bounds and save their final timeout. So just to break down defensively, you've got to find a way to make that tackle in the field of play.
Now 1st and goal. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So for Cleveland, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.